In the capacity of a teacher of ancient Indian wisdom and leadership development, how do we address communication? Generally, in the business parlance, which is taught as communication skill, gesturing, presentation, etc. We take it from a deeper perspective. The subject which we teach is the esoteric dimension of communication. What is the esoteric dimension of communication? It talks about the fulcrum from where a communication, any communication, shall source its origin. Like the water in the river is sourced to the mountains. Likewise, any expression, be it body language, through eyes, or verbal, ultimately it is sourced to the human intent. Human intent is the source where the necessity for its further expressiveness or communication arises. Under the ancient Indian wisdom, we teach about that fulcrum wherefrom arises the actual trigger of communication. Why do you understand that? The word outside is merely able to comprehend how we make faces, how we express through body language, or how we use a verbal language. The world outside merely understands that. You're right about that. But I must go slightly deeper. The world that you generally meet in a formal sense, people who you come across rare, once in a while, certainly external expressive modules can impress them. But what about people with whom you meet, interact each day and several times during a day? What about them? They are the ones who are in the closest proximity of your auric dimension. Your silent vibrations travel down to them every moment. To them, any amount of making faces, any amount of synthetic body gesturing, and any amount of verbal manipulation cannot cast an impact. With those people with whom you have to survive, every now and then, to them, some silent communication which is pure, born with bonding and intimacy, chaste emotion must arise. Only then you shall be able to do justice and you shall be able to cherish whatever you want to accomplish with that kind of relationship. If you don't understand what I'm trying to convey, then obviously for you the externalities or the surfacial expression shall always count importance. And they are short-lived, my friend. The impact of a speech, any deliberation, however impactful it may be, does not last long. But the impact of a silent relationship, the kind of an understanding that you gather, silently understand within yourself, which none has expressed you about anyone, that has a deeper impact. And one would always behold the impact of such silent communication at the bedrock of one's own beliefs. Esoteric dimension of communication is for those leaders who really want to develop a bonding with their teams, who want to see that their interpersonal relationship, especially with the people with whom they have to work hand to hand each day and day in and day out, must be at the optimum, at the zenith of its levels. To them, this learning holds great importance. How it happens, how can we understand and comprehend about that fulcrum where the source to any expressiveness arises, go to the intent level and try to engineer our own individuality so that any expression or any intent which is sourced to an expression is always noble, not ignoble, coated with the garb of some manipulated verbal or external gesturing. Develop the virtue and traits of a true leader, a leader who acts more even when he or she is silent. Join one of my programs upon esoteric dimensions of communication understand, create change for an inner engineering that will take you much beyond the others who have not understood this concept.